Hi, I'm Steve Shelburne, owner and operator of Shelburne RV here in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee. All right, so next project here in Northport, Florida is this 99 model H3. And so, yeah, you see what's going on here. Now, I've done lots of research, and nobody can tell me anything about this unit. Now, obviously, compressors, fans, so it pulls cold air in here, rejects the hot air out there. This up here is the coils, and this actually had a coil set up for the aqua hot also. I have tried to find somebody who could tell me anything about this. This literally must have been just a one-off deal, because nobody can really tell me what in the heck is going on here. Really don't have a clue. So what's the solution? Obviously, you guys know how I feel about Coleman. So there's the brand new. I got two brand new Colemans that have been necked down for the footprint, a little smaller, and then all new residential ductwork. So we're gonna start, and this we're doing both sides. So now, again, you've got your driver's side, and then over here on the passenger side, same deal. And again, I mean, this is something I've never seen. I've asked a lot of Prevost people, and nobody can tell me what this is. Now, the unfortunate part is we are going to have to try to cut some slots in this door, probably here and probably here, because we can do, again, comes up through here and rejects there, but the new one's going to pull air for right there. So a little bit of modifying we got to do there, but there you go. We're going to dive into that now. All right, so here's what we got so far. Ductwork had to come loose there. You can see it's a rough unit. Like I said, this thing has probably never been out since the day it was put in here. I can almost guarantee you. But we're close. We've almost got it out of here. All right, it's out. Look at this monster. I mean, holy crap, dude. I've never, all the years I've worked on these things, have never seen anything like this. Now, these hoses are for the aqua hot, because it actually integrated heat into that. They've got other heat functions, but look at the difference between that and that. Holy crap, man. That is a beast. So now that we got everything kind of stripped, this is what we're dealing with. So obviously got to figure out what we're doing here in the bay. I've got a dummy piece I'm going to put in here to figure out where we're at there. He's got hose reel problems. Now is the time to fix that. But yeah, look at this ductwork. We're gonna go in here and strip all this out and replace that with modern day stuff, because this is a bunch of crap right here. I guarantee you this has never been out since the day it was put in here. There's no way. So I've got the old unit out. This is my template unit. This tells me a couple things. Where's my air discharge gonna be? Where's my drain plug gonna be? And where's my return going to be for the return from the going back up into the coach. Now, these rubber lines right here were part of that heater, and they come over here to that solenoid right there. So I got to get those out of that solenoid and put some plugs in it, so that way they can't actuate that. And then I'm just working now and getting this duct work out. We can get all this stripped out of here, so we can start seeing how all this is gonna fit back in here. But I can tell you that was never working right. There's no way that was sealed up enough that there wasn't cold air blowing down here. This whole thing, again, I've never seen anything like this. This is something I ain't never seen, and neither of you. So there you go. You're doing it with me. All right, so we're here on the passenger side. Now look at this ductwork they put in this thing. I don't know about all that, but passenger side is out. Yeah, this has been, they put a lot more screws holding it down in there than they did on the other side. Not quite sure what the reason for that was, because all the ductwork on the top, that son of a gun was not going nowhere. But let me show you what I've been working on today on the driver's side. Now, you can see that's my discharge. I got my return in place, and we've got the ductwork all built for the floor, and then that's what we got going on there. So yeah, I've been busy working on that today, getting that done. Well, good morning. I was over in Fort Pierce yesterday. I had a 05 Prevost that had some basement area issues and some other stuff going on. So I went over there and pulled those units out. Brought them back to the shop yesterday. I worked out here on this big girl till about 8 o'clock last night. But let me show you where we're at on this one. I've got everything pretty well fabbed up. I just got to run to Lowe's and get some junction boxes so we can redo the power. And then, yeah, this one here's close, other than we got to modify the door a little bit. Let me show you what we got. All right, so you can see I've got my dummy unit in here, mocking everything up, but this is the power for the unit. Now, this was laying up inside there, not quite sure what that was for. We're going to terminate into a box because I have no idea. It didn't have no power on it. Not sure what's going on there. But this is the power for the unit, so we're going to tie those back in some boxes. But as you can see, I've got the return and the discharge all fabricated in. And again, the beauty about this is that's the only place going to be taped, because that sits up against the gasket on the back. I'm going to have to cut a little bit out there, but I got the hole for the drain already set up. But yeah, this is again, custom work. So when we're done, we'll put a nice shelf across here. He'll pick up a little bit of storage right there, like a lot of the Prevost buses do. But yeah, quite a bit involved in doing this, just because of how much fabricating there is to make this work correctly. But yeah, heading in the right direction. We're going to work on that. Then I've got to modify these doors over a little bit. This got to go over a 1/4 inch. We're going to move those brackets so that way this door can go down in there and latch. And then start cutting holes in the door so we can get some breathing room in here. All right, so you can see I've got the door opened up right here. Now I had to modify this bracket a little bit because I don't need it to hit the air conditioner. So I had to come over a 1/4 inch right here to get it to miss, and I had to shim that out to get it to miss the air conditioner when we closed it. Now, I've come in here and I've cut out the back of this, because the next thing we got to do here is we've got to go in here and cut slots out for the air to flow. So that's what we're working on now. Right, so here's where I'm at on the slots. Now obviously this ain't what I want to go for. This fiberglass door. So the customer and I actually had a nice conversation about that. I've got some chrome grill, real nice chrome grill, that we're going to cut all this out, put a nice chrome grill across there, and that's gonna look fine. You can see this air conditioner is ready to go in. Now I've been working over here today on the passenger side, and I'm close to having it done. I just got to wrap the return with some insulation. But as you can see, I've got the filter down here, modified that up. This is our discharge. Again, in there's a return. So everything's pretty well put back together. Now, because of this lip, there's a lip right here. To get this air conditioner out, you're going to have to lift it up off this lip. So I've actually made this where this will come out, and we're going to make this where that can be pulled out very easily. And then this air conditioner can come up and out of the way for service. So I'm trying to make this where its serviceability is very simple also. You can see I've got the 120 stubbed out and ready. And then again, we've got to do the same thing to this door right here. And then we got to modify this hinge right here to miss the air conditioner. But we're close. I was having a conversation with the customer about modifying that door, and obviously it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. And you know, the only option is to go in there and put some chrome on there. And of course I was a little nervous about that, because you know, Country Coach did such a nice job on that, and I can't find that piece to replace that with, so we're having to really kind of shoot from the hip on this thing. But I got tickled by the customer, because he said you can never have enough chrome on a bus. So there you go. All right, so we got the unit all taped in, wired up, running. Let's go inside. Now keep in mind, this unit here works everything from the bathroom forward, and then the passenger side works everything from the bathroom back. Now I don't have the passenger side in just yet, but I do have the driver's side in and it's running. So let's see what kind of differential temperature we got in here now. I've had it running a few minutes. 70 and 50. So there's our 20 degrees right there. So yeah, 70 and 50. So yeah, all these vents, man, they're just cranking cold air right now. So yeah, very pleased in how this thing is working. So we're gonna give it some more time to run and we'll see where we're at. I had to mount the thermostat over here. That's where the other one was mounted, had the old style. We got rid of that. Got with the new digital. But yeah, gonna give it some time to run. All right, well, been working here this morning, getting this one kind of finished up. Now you can see I've got the door partially open because I'm working on getting the back cut out so we can start cutting for the front. But as you can see, the new unit's in and running. Got all the duct work installed. And this one here's got some great temperatures. We'll go in here in just a minute and I'll show you. This one only runs the back half of the coach. So I'll take you in here in a minute and show you what we got. So the driver's side unit does this front half of the bus. And then back here, get some lights on. The passenger side unit does this back here. Now, I've got the set at 73. So this one's cranking pretty good. Got good airflow in here, so yeah, there you go. Here's the grading that I came up with to go on the outside of this. So it's gonna look pretty nice. We're gonna build a nice trim board around there, but I do have to go in here. As you saw on the other side, I've got the paneling on the inside cut off. Same with this one. And then we're gonna go in here and cut all of this out of here in just a minute, and then we'll figure out a way to mount that on the side. Alrighty, there we go. So we're gonna cut those sections out, just this section and this section. So we're gonna cut this out and then start fitting the grate in there. All right, there we go. Got it all fabricated out. I don't think it looks too bad. I mean, we got many options, but yeah, it turned out good. So we'll get the other side done the same way. Well, good morning. So this 99 Prevost built out by Country Coach, we are just finished up on this one. So let me take you around and show you what we got. You saw in the starting video what we had to work with. Now you can see what we got. We finished up. Everything's all nicely neat in a J box, and you know, these doors turned out awesome. I'm plenty happy with those. So that's the driver's side. Let's go over here and take a look at the passenger side. Now we didn't have as much room on the passenger side as we did on the driver's side, but that's okay. We made it happen. Put a little shelf in there so he can store all his stuff. But yeah, so there you go, all finished up. All right, so you can see he is long gone. So yeah, quite a bit involved in that one. You saw how bad those units were, and I mean, the drains weren't working on it. You know, they were telling me that they had some pretty bad smells going on in there. So, you know, getting rid of those old units would, again, never have been out. There's no way they've ever been out since the day they were put in that bus. So now they've got some units in there that are working great. I mean, the bedroom in the back yesterday was 84 degrees in there, and in 45 minutes it brought it down to 74. So the unit's rolling. I mean, those things are cooling. You know, they were telling me back in the summertime that they just couldn't hardly stay in it because it just never could keep up. So yeah, those units are rolling. They're doing really good. But yeah, a lot of labor involved in that. A lot of hours to do that the right way, make it look like it's working correctly, to make it work correctly, and you know, everything looks good and it's functional. So, and it's serviceable. So, if it ever has to come out, it can be easily serviced. So there you go. That finishes up here this week down in Northport. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next video.